You are listening to Maximum Pew Pew, an actual play RPG podcast. Maximum Pew Pew follows continuous storylines and are meant to be enjoyed from the beginning. This episode follows the Dead Sons storyline and may contain spoilers for the Dead Sons adventure path published by Paizo Incorporated. The following segments may contain mature themes and adult language. In this episode, the party makes their last stop at Absalom Station before their final confrontation. So,
where the adventures last left off.
Yeah, so when last we left our heroes, which I guess is a catchphrase now, you had just returned, or making a return from Nezir 6. You had discovered the location of the Gate of the 12, which appears to have something to do with the Kishali that were on Nezir 6 that have been so far out of touch with like the original species that they've had a genetic deviation, as you determined with, you know, the medical robot and like the language drift and everything like that. But even though you do know the extent where your next destination is, it does require drift travel. And it has been a while since you've been to Absalom Station, and you are determining that it's probably going to be a while until you can return to Absalom Station. So this might actually be your last trip there until you've completed your business as far as dealing with the Stellar Degenerator goes. You've talked about it, you've done some math, and Ion determined that one of the upgrades that your ship is going to get, you would actually be better off to return to Absalom Station, get that upgrade, and then go to the Gate of the 12. It would probably be quicker than the direct route, because an improved drift engine will do that. It will cut down your travel time significantly.
Oh, yeah.
So you head to Absalom Station. It's a modest 4-day trip to get you back. It's nice to be home and away from some of these desolate locations that you've had to deal with recently. As you make your approach to Absalom Station, you'll get your sort of courtesy hail from Isabel from 7th Circle Customs.
I've got some plans.
Do tell.
Oh, have you heard of this thing called guns before?
Yes.
Oh, that's just where the party starts.
We'll
discuss it over gelato and tea.
Oh, well, I'll free up my schedule. She'll accept any digital plans that you want to go ahead and send her. That way she can work on sourcing those materials for you. Mm-hmm. You approach Sweetfeather's semi-permanent parking spot. The Discerning Dagger still is not parked there at the moment. There is the beacon that he uses that's broadcasting both a public and private message. Public being that Discerning Dagger is currently away for hiatus and should return at some point. The private key that you're able to communicate with on the Sunrise Maiden says that he is still working on trying to get his family healthy because the Scoured Stars had kind of done a number to them mentally, and there's a few experimental treatments that they are trying that has him and his nephews occupied. So he hasn't been able to do much. However, he does want to share with you some blueprints for specialized ammunition, and I've given you a handout here. Essentially, he is it's not really his creation, but something that he's used before, but it's a special precision grade ammunition that you can use on pretty much any type of projectile weapon. If you use it on bullets, basically all of the the powders are weighed out to a more highly accurate amounts versus like your regular mass-produced version. Batteries will have better capacitors. Anything with like a tank, like fuel tanks or anything like that, have better like precision-made nozzles and whatnot to give you a better, a more consistent use. Essentially, what this does is, if you'll look at the damage curve, I took like a level 10 like rifle, and what it does is it kind of helps that damage output be a bit more average. So you're not going to have like those wild highs or wild lows. So you're going to have more consistent. And at the low cost of a 10% markup from the cost of the ammunition normally, you can have basically that adjustment if that's something that you desire. If you don't like your swingy dice, you park at the dry dock at 7th Circle Customs. Isabel greets you, eagerly awaiting your arrival and to kind of get a visual inspection of what the ship looks like. And I don't think it took much damage this time around, did it at all? You basically just breached a hole in an enemy ship and evacuated your own ship to get to that ship and cleared it out, and, you know, as one does.
Gotten good at blowing things up.
So, you know, there's just a little bit of like a wash and detail maybe on the outside in addition to any of the upgrades that you've given.
I also hit it with 3 of our most powerful weapons point blank range.
Yeah, so there's probably a little bit of like residue left like on the fore of the ship where, like, you know, just the blowback of all that damage, a little bit of scuffing and stuff, but
yeah,
you know.
get the windows polished because right on the front there was some debris that blew back from the proximity of the impact.
Oh yeah, she'll scuff all that out and give it a nice polish. That way you can head out. And she feels like with all these new additions, maybe it's time for another promotional picture. By the time she's done. She estimates it'll probably take her probably 36 to 48 hours to knock this out, which should give people plenty of time to knock out what they need to do on station. When you arrive, pretty much like all of your emails start to clamber in, all of your messages and stuff, and you actually get a message from an old friend, Jabaxa, the level 21 crew. And he is requesting that at your convenience to come visit him at his new nightclub, Blackjack. Which, when you put into the GPS, seems to share the address
of the Fusion Queen.
The Fusion Queen.
What?
Hold on. That nightclub was not on level 21.
They're expanding. The property was cheap, and they made a purchase.
So were the owners.
Some of the other messages may come through. For example, Maia's message that she received when we last played. If you wanted to meet that individual in person, you could. I don't know if you would want to or not. Right. Zenka, I believe Spike is predisposed somewhere else in the Pact Worlds.
Yeah.
As is anyone that Cyna would probably want to speak with, and there's probably going to be no way that Ion can get in touch with whoever contacted him. But you could go to the Society if you had a need to, if you wanted to check in person. I
guess we're obligated to turn over our logs what we discovered.
That reminds me, I need to print something. So you all talk about what you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we got to turn over the logs.
Yeah, we got to go get them the information.
Oh, anyways. I was going to do this for you while we played, if you were interested.
Oh,
so
okay.
you can have it
Yeah.
today.
Well, we know what face I want, so that one's easy.
Yeah. I don't know. We probably had this conversation last time, but Cyna will share her note with Zenka and go, I think we've been found out.
Probably. Probably.
I'll be fine as long as he doesn't tell Dad.
It's not always a bad thing. Oh, he gonna tell your daddy.
Well, Spike got a mess of messages that hopefully doesn't worry him more. We'll find out.
Your people went missing. You might be a widower. Was that it?
No.
No.
Hi, honey, I'm in hell.
So, hey, by the way, there were a series of 3 text messages that Spike sent that were in all caps that ended with, "We will talk about this later."
We will talk about this later.
We will, preferably in person.
Yep, sorry, I have to go to the through a weird constellation into an alternate dimension to save the universe.
I didn't give him quite that much detail, but I may have dropped the whole. We may have stepped into like some saving the galaxy type level shit.
You're a bus driver. What are you doing on the Avengers?
Okay.
And, as it states, I think my character would like the closure, so I would be willing to meet and finish this off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Is that something you'd like to do now at this table, or?
I mean, we can, yeah.
So, that's up to you. It depends on how close to the chest you want to play what's going on. But we can talk in other terms.
Do you need
want.
backup for this?
I don't know yet. I guess
That's
it depends.
suspicious.
But that's completely up to you if you'd like to try to arrange a meeting or.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think yeah.
So you can send something on a secure channel to attempt to arrange a meeting.
Okay.
And this is a very busy individual, so they might not reply immediately. But
Right.
So that's what Maia's doing. See, Ion, anything in particular you would like to do while you're on station?
I just buy more stuff.
Buy more stuff? Okay. Is everyone sort of splitting their ways or kind of traveling around as a group or, taking some
I'll
time
go off by myself. I'm confident.
Okay.
It's like less.
So you go off by yourself
That one.
on Absalom Station, nice and busy.
Yeah. Shave.
Make me a perception check as you're going to your regular shops.
7.
7. Okay. You do not notice anything too peculiar or out of place. It's Absalom Station is essentially a melting pot of individuals and cultures. How about a sense motive? Can you roll me one of those?
18.
18. Okay. You get this gut feeling that you're being followed.
Okay.
You're not quite sure who or where, but you definitely feel it.
I am... I'm going to go into the free markets.
Okay, so like the most public place you can get to. Okay. You sort of make a left and a right and a turn here or whatever, and you get to the free markets and you kind of what do you want to do? You kind of like on a sort of sentry trying to see.
I want to take like the most convoluted route through the free markets I can while trying to keep an eye out for whoever's following me.
Okay. What type of roll would you like to make? Are you trying to lose them or trying to...
I'm trying to make the perception check easier for me
By separating.
by being like, this dude is here every time I turn around. You know?
Okay. Yeah, so that's... Make me another perception check.
15.
15. That's good. So through your process of like deduction and hitting these turns and kind of looking around, seeing what you can find, there are 3 individuals.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are wearing very like flowy clothing. Like you don't even believe they're like armored. It's just very light, flowy clothing, very long, and not much of their skin is exposed. So it's just like almost like they're prepared for the desert. You know, they want to avoid like sunburn, but they also don't want to like die of heat exhaustion because of like covering their skin and stuff. All of them are very tanned. And you're not entirely sure if that's just like because they are of a darker complexion naturally, or because they just see a lot of sunlight.
So I'm gonna stop at one of the stalls, peruse their wares, and try to act like I'm not actually watching them out of the corner of my eye.
Okay.
It'll be like a bluff check.
Bluff or stealth? I'll let you do either one.
I'm gonna do bluff.
You don't want to try and stealth that?
That's gonna be a 30.
30? Okay. So your bluff is basically to...
Act like I'm not watching them when I'm totally watching them.
Okay.
Because they're watching me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hide from them. I'm just trying to act like I don't notice them and that I'm not actively trying to figure out what they're about.
All right. They continue to follow you, but they don't get any closer than about 20 feet.
Okay.
And then
20 feet's close enough.
yeah, make me a perception check, see if you can overhear what they're saying.
18.
18. So you can kind of overhear. You found a nice booth that's like nice and separate, and you can actually like get a good sense of hearing and stuff. And you hear they keep name dropping you. But it's not like in a malevolent way.
Hey, look, there he is. It's Ion. It's the famous Ion.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like it's if unless you were crazy, you would think that they're actually like fanboying on you right now.
I mean,
Oh my god, he's looking this way. Hide. Did he see me?
Like when you look their way and kind of like
I'm pretty
I'd let
awesome.
him use his breaching gun on me to open me.
woo. Happy Valentine's Day.
All right. So
Is it these ropes or am I so hot in here?
I'm going to like kind of round the corner just a hair
Yeah.
and then wait for them to start to round the corner and then point a breaching gun in one of their face and be all like, so, my name's Ion.
That's the gun. That's the
That's the gun!
That's the gun. He pointed at me. No, he's certainly pointing it at me.
Pointing it at me.
Well, I'm Lucia, and we're big fans
You're fans? Fans of what?
of you, of course.
What do you know about me?
Give me a perception check on these fellas.
6.
These hooligans.
How dangerous.
Actually, also, do you have medicine?
11.
11. Okay.
Doing real well with those skill checks
Sure
today.
am.
So you're sizing these 3 individuals up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, they have these like flowy robes. They're like a dark blue color to them. Some of them have shaved their heads. Another has like a very like long flowing black hair. And you just realize that all 3 of them are barefoot.
She puts the hairspray in. Stands in.
Not only are they barefoot, all of their feet look scarred.
Well, that seems weird.
The scarring, and I'll give you this with the medicine check, the scarring seems to be seems to match what you would expect from like maybe first-degree burns.
So not real bad.
Not
But
real bad,
noticeable.
but I mean,
Covering the entire foot.
pretty much, yeah.
And I'll be like, okay, and who are you and where'd you hear about me?
Well, we are fellow followers of Sarenrae, and we heard about your adventures and your personal story of redeeming an individual that was previously a cult of the Devourer follower.
How does that even happen?
I mean, I just present opportunity, and Sarenrae lights the way.
See, this is, and they all just like praise Sarenrae. They do like the
So humble.
and they do like they trace like the Serenite like
The
like
angel wings.
yeah they trace that on their chest
Like
and
the
sternum
stance.
area. And it's like we're so
Which
happy to finally meet you. We've
Yeah, the
heard
selection.
so much about you and the stories and the just
least aggressive.
everything. We're so
Which kind of fits mine.
thrilled to
She's not
see
like that.
an actual disciple out in the universe doing the good work. I mean, we hope to perhaps be marginally as iridescent as you, Ion.
Iridescent.
Yeah.
Well, how do you serve the Dawnflower currently?
Well, we are currently professing the good news of Sarenrae around Absalom Station. We had just, I believe the Dawnflower admires honesty, and we were perhaps not the most diligent practitioners, and we are doing some atonement so that perhaps we can remind ourselves of what it means to be a true follower. And some of that involves, going away from our home to Absalom Station, professing, and, just being an evangelist of, the Dawnflower. And we would have never thought that we would actually run into, your name has come up a lot in the church. lately.
Really? It's good to be noticed by the faithful.
It's, and it's, it's a good story for all. And there have been several parishioners that have been really rallying behind this redemption thing. And Rock always been very helpful with, kind of spreading this word too. But yeah, we're very excited to see you, and I hope you wish you the best on your journey.
Well, I appreciate it. I think if you want to serve Sarenrae, the best way is to take an active approach and not a passive approach.
One of them is furiously, like with a stylus on their data pad.
I should be, dude. I'm
writing this note.
I'm writing you the New Testament.
And
right
then
here.
you said you should be, and now the other two have gotten their data pads and are trying to catch up.
Oh yeah.
Fast forward 20 years in the future, you're the next Joel Osteen.
That's right. That's right. The mega church of Sarenrae. So I'm going to tell them, that atonement is fine, but that Sarenrae has always been a goddess of action, and that the best way to spread the word is through their actions, and I will use them as an example. It was not my words that drew you to me. It was my actions that drew you to me. It was not my words that redeemed the follower of the Devourer. It was my actions that redeemed the follower of the Actioner.
These words have a very profound effect on the followers. One of them actually starts to get a little moist in the eye.
They should. I'm gonna wipe it for them. It's okay.
Then
okay.
it's like a full-on cry at that point. Like you basically hit the tipping point.
Good.
Cyna, somewhere in this market, is walking by. She's got this big chicken leg in her hand.
Yes.
and a bag of bath supplies from she just walks by and sees and hears this, and it takes her a minute to realize who's talking because she just can't process it. And then her face turns kind of green,
Oh, yeah.
And then she like just looks at that piece of chicken and just drops it in a trash can and walks away.
Oh, yeah. See, it's not the words, it's the actions. All right, so I'm going to wish them a good day. I'm going to leave them.
Okay. They do like traditional bows or whatever, and they are so ecstatic that they
The
got
next
to
time I'm
meet.
on Absalom Station, I want to know the deeds they have done in the Dawnflower's name, not the words they have said about the Dawnflower.
Oh, we will do you and the Dawnflower proud. Ion, thank you for your wise words. You're truly a blessing.
All right, so 50% chance I just started another cult of the Dawnflower, and 50% chance I didn't. So we're going to find out at the conclusion of this AP.
Pending.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Zenka, what are you doing on station?
You know,
My intention was not to start another cult of the Dawnflower. I'm just saying there's a possibility I accidentally started another cult of the Dawnflower.
I don't know. I don't know the proportion of cults that start intentionally.
Well, the cult of
some
the
of them do.
Dawnflower was the type of people that came and was like, hey, you're a sinner, you should repent. And people were like, I'm not going to repent. And they would just kill you. And they'd be all like, well, we gave him a chance.
And then the next
Yeah.
day they still had their deific powers, and they're like, oh, so I guess she didn't hate it that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just going to keep on doing this.
Yeah, if she hated this, she would have taken my powers, but I'm still healing. So,
Let's get to offering redemption at the tip of a sword.
so Zenka, anything that you'd like to do while you're on station?
I'm going to be shooting off some messages
Okay.
as we had discussed previously.
Yeah.
Um,
They arrive a little bit quicker. You're probably able to exchange maybe 4 or 5 messages the entire time you're going to be on station without getting that rapid fire. But
Okay.
you can kind of relay what you wanted to Spike.
Okie dokie. I've got a couple of things that I will purchase and or upgrade, but not a heck of a lot.
Okay.
That being said, if anybody needs some extra funds to get anything, let me know. I might have some funds to
I
spare.
think
I'm
Cyna
always
is.
looking for better armor.
Well, I'm going to go pistol shopping because while I like this sonic pistol and I've got a lot of mileage out of it, I think I need something with an extra die.
I've also got this merciful fusion seal that I can't really put on anything.
Sell it.
Is there a better crossbolter than the dual?
Probably.
It's not in the main book, and I don't have the other books, so I don't
I'll
know.
give you the other book so you can look through it.
I kind of like the thought of shooting people with arrows. Really turns me on.
So Cyna, you're going pistol shopping.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't had enough time in between games to go and figure out what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to do that
Um,
while we're talking.
It's the first thing. Weapons.
Maia, and it's lousy with them. There's so many weapons in this book. Over 660.
I would like to just blow all of my money either on a weapon or armor.
I blew it all in armor.
Also, reminder, you'll probably want to take whatever spare credits you have and convert them to UPBs before you travel.
Okay.
That might not be a bad
Oh,
idea.
unless you guys think I can afford the next head implant thing. Hold on.
The Mark III is 70-some thousand.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yep, I got a Mark 1 and a Mark 2. Wouldn't work.
You're good.
So, Maia,
You're not going any further with that. Not right now.
Maia, you will receive a message saying that, basically from a secretary, saying that your contact is not available, but they would like to meet with you in their stead.
Okay. That'd be fine.
And that you could come by at your convenience.
Okay.
All right. And then there is the pending invitation from Jabaxa as well for everyone. Maia, you go to you go to the Eoxian embassy and meet with a secretary there. He is a Elybrian gentleman, very finely dressed. The embassy was like all like sort of dark and almost look like a mausoleum, almost very sparsely
right, yes,
appointed. Yeah. And he will meet with you in kind of a side office that's near the main entrance and say, Maia, thank you for coming. His Excellency was pretty cryptic with what he wanted me to tell you, and I'm sort of used to this behavior, we'll call it.
Right.
But he did say that you had discussed a business opportunity and that he was excited to see that you were considering it. And he also wanted to let you know that there is, in his words, a mutual friend waiting for tea at your next destination.
Okay, I think I know what he means. Yeah.
But beyond that, I would be happy to forward anything else along to His Excellency. I know that you have a very tight timetable.
Yeah, we're not going to be here in the station for very long. So
that is a shame, but I will pass along that I met with you and your responses and anything else you'd like to pass on. And he does wish you and the rest of your compatriots good luck and a speedy return home.
Okay.
It takes a while, but you all get texts from Chiskus as well. He says, or they say, I understand time is of the essence. Won't bother you too long. Passing along updates for your venture agents. So let's see. This one's for Cyna. And this one's for Ion. And this one's for Maia. And this one's for Zenka. So we'll, similar to what we did the couple sessions before, just at the end of the session, we'll assign those individuals and they can go on a mission and get you stuff. So your last pressing business,
The
Other
Dross
than-
gun Phlox is pretty good.
other than probably Cyna taking an 8-hour bath. I feel like you purchased like a week's worth of like bath salts and bath bombs and
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well,
if she
yeah,
bought bath salts, we all
and-
know she's
and are-
not taking a bath.
and are going to blow through them in one sitting if you can.
And her crack pipe.
no,
So bath salts, whoa!
no. That would be a waste.
She's chasing her children around on the balcony, but she doesn't have any children, and there's no one on the balcony with her.
What balcony?
There's
Where's she
balcony.
going?
Yeah. And by balcony, I mean naked in the main lobby.
Only in Ion's fever.
These
dreams.
bath salts are the best bath salts ever. I feel so clean. I smell like lavender.
She's dug half-inch gouges
All right.
like in the forearm.
Oh,
God,
oh, Cyna. I didn't know you got down like that.
Ion, you really need to stop projecting your mother complex on me.
Okay.
So really,
Noted.
so last order of business is you're going to go down to the Blackjack, which used to be the Fusion Queen. The fluorescents have been repurposed to show off basically the image of the Queen that was like in the previous Fusion Queen has now been encapsulated with a rectangle next to an ace.
I can't hear the word Fusion Queen without ABBA jumping into my head. Just like the worst.
Well, that's
The
probably the
Fusion
new kind of
Queen.
music that's played here.
We can purchase above our level in equipment.
Up
right?
to-
At Absalom Station's up 2 above.
Of 2 levels is what I'm
Okay.
allowing for
That's
Absalom
all I
Station.
need.
Yep. So
4th level spell gems are item
Probably
level
that one,
11.
'cause that giant whip
Nice.
thing does not turn me on.
Well,
Which I guess
instead of that, you
It's a spell gem I will probably never use, but I would like to have it.
probably
you
still that one.
you arrive at
Yeah.
the
Like
Blackjack,
it's not sexy at all.
and one of the bouncers is actually someone that recognized you from like the original firefight. that you had on your first day on Absalom Station.
Cool. Hey man, what's up?
And lets you bump like ahead of 20 or so people, which like they could be angry, but then they see like the armor and the weapons you're wearing and then realize that maybe they shouldn't be angry for too long.
That would be good. It's probably a bad idea for them to try to like bow up at anybody.
Yeah. I'd say we're all here for this trip because last time we met this guy, he fed us.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I also have the master key, so I mean I go where I want.
Yeah. So the club is just about as raucous as it was the last time. However, it's a bit more like clean cut. You don't feel like it's a front for drugs or anything like the last one was.
Surprise!
Yeah. You
really cleaned up their act.
You are led to through the staff room, and in there, it's almost been converted to like, if you can imagine, like a chef's table. Like it's like, imagine every gangster movie where like the back room of the Italian restaurant is kind of like the private table for the mob boss and their family.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that deal. And Jabaxa is sitting there and enjoying a meal with a few lieutenants. And when he sees that you come in, it's like, Ion, Maia, Cyna, Zenka, welcome. The lieutenants get the subtle hint that they probably need to head out, so they step up from the table and they grab their plates too, and they just kind of like make their way out.
I get it, man. Don't waste that.
And before the last one can come out, like Jabaxa kind of like, 4 bottles. Yeah. And then one of them goes to presumably retrieve 4 bottles of some type of wine or liquor to enjoy. Welcome back.
Glad to be back.
You all are
Good to be back.
You all are pretty busy.
You know, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column
That's
B.
a way to put it.
Too much downtime is Devil's Playground.
Tell me about it.
So's our uptime lately.
Yeah, tell me about it. So, Ion,
Mm-hmm.
you've been helping us out with some of them goods that you've procured. Business has been good.
I'm glad to hear it.
This has been really good. People have really liked what they've got. Because it's kind of hard to get some of that stuff without the proper licenses around here. So they pay a premium, and they pay a premium, and we forward that to you. It's kind of a finder's fee.
I appreciate that.
So we do too. So
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I like this one. In a different life, I imagine you would have made a pretty good criminal.
I'm sure that there are many lives in which I was a great criminal, but of course those lives are long since past.
Well,
hypothetically.
There's still time. Anyway, speaking of which, we're not really into the drug game. Sorry. The chemical enhancement game.
Oh, I was
think you were-
definitely against drugs, but chemical enhancements? Yep.
Well,
I'm all
I think
for
you
it.
were right the first time.
Well,
It's
Some
one of the
things
reasons we picked you over the alternatives.
I still think that you'll appreciate what we're doing here. We, in some recent investigation of holdings of the previous level or the previous Downside Kings, they had stockpiled a number of what appears to be military-grade chemical enhancements that they were planning on distributing on the streets.
That stuff is dangerous with medical supervision.
Yes,
I know.
it is. And none of our chemists can figure out what the hell any of them do. So,
Mystery meat.
I feel like that should be the more concerning proposition, is that nobody knows what these do.
well, okay, none of my chemists. Now, let me remind you that I don't have drug makers on my payroll.
Did you do, the old-fashioned way of trying to figure out what they do?
Oh, no. See, what I was thinking about doing is maybe just allowing you lot, you're very capable, to dispose of them however you would like. Plausible deniability and all. If you can find a seller, I don't want these on Absalom Station, but you guys are globetrotters. You go all over the place. Maybe we'll find someone that can identify them, maybe find someone who can use them
Make use
in a
of them.
more
I get it.
legal fashion, but I just don't want to get caught with them. And I really don't think they need to be on station either.
Okay. Well,
I'm pretty sure we're heading past the sun sometime soon.
If that's
You
what you
drop
want to
them
do
off
with
while
them,
we're
that's
there.
fine. I mean,
I feel like we will find a good way to dispose of them.
the only stipulation is I don't want to hear about it.
Of course not. That's not the type of business we're into.
Excellent. So,
Ion, what kind of business are we into?
That's a really good question.
What we're paid to do.
We
so,
work for the Starfinder Society.
so what will it be
There's a
tonight?
big gala coming.
Do we want Kasathan? Do we want steak Vescarium prepared steak recipe? Kasathan, not really feeling Castrovellian tonight.
We've had the real thing recently.
I don't even know if it was that recent, to be honest with you.
It's been a while. Well,
It's been within, what, a couple of weeks?
yeah. Well,
I want to say it's been like a month and a half because of drift travel.
hopefully it was better than like salad and bugs.
They
No,
were
that
very-
was the air.
They were very fresh salad and bugs.
Well,
So fresh you breathe it in with every breath you took. Everything down there.
you know what? It's a special occasion. Why don't we just get it all?
Yeah,
There
let's
we go.
do that.
Why don't we just get it
Toward the
off?
past packed worlds.
Why don't we just, and he pulls out a data pad, get it all.
You know what food? You know what planet's food we don't want? Eox.
No.
No,
No, we don't.
no, we don't.
There's so many.
I promise you, as bad as it looks in the trids, it smells worse.
Yeah. Like imagine like a whole plate full of pudding skin.
I don't want to imagine that. Why are you talking?
We don't have to imagine that. We saw it.
I tried to block that from my mind.
You have this unfair ability of being able to just delete it.
My
Well, now I have to delete it
my
again.
PTSD triggers.
God damn it.
So, you enjoy a nice evening with Jabaxa.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of wine, maybe an excess of wine. Good food, something a little different from field rations.
I mean, that's good.
You make your way to some type of safe haven, maybe your ship, maybe the Starfinder Society Lodge. After a few more hours, basically your ship's your ship is completely ready for your outing. Probably the final outing from Absalom Station you'll make until the Stellar Degenerator business is completed.
Okay. So, who has physical science? All right. So, you're going to spend some time figuring out what all these drugs do.
Okay.
Would that be physical science or would that be medicine?
I'll go with either.
Physical science is chemistry. And medicine,
okay.
and medicine would probably work as well.
Yep. I'll
I'm
actually.
If you've
better
seen
at
similar
physical
drugs
science.
before, yeah.
Right.
Well, actually, here let me try to cheese something here.
Oh, please do.
I have medicine. I also have the soldier background, or the
Okay.
merc background. So I probably have some experience with others in my squad using combat sims.
Actually, yeah. If you do have like merc or soldier or something, I'll let you make that check as well.
My physical science is actually really good.
But each of you received a compliment. There's 9 different chems Each of you receive 2 each. And you can trade back and forth. You can give them all to one person, however you want to do it.
It's like 1990s Pogs.
Yeah.
I'll trade you a backhand for FTL.
29 medicine with 5 less difficulty.
Ooh.
Okay.
Out of context a little bit, what would be the coolest cybernetic upgrade to get for around 12,000 credits?
That would require some research. But while you do that, I can go over these chems real quick.
Yeah.
Backhand
No. but
What
it's
is, yeah,
just cool.
backhand.
I don't know if it
allows
works
you to
or not.
reroll all
cool.
ones on any weapon damage rolls
Can you use it like in all
and lasts for 5 minutes.
What is it?
Backhand allows you to reroll all ones on any weapon damage rolls. It lasts for 5 minutes.
It's like Red Eye from Cowboy Bebop? Maybe.
Oh, God. Yeah, the sun. Take it to the sun.
For how long?
5 minutes. I've got a list here if you just want to make like the minor notes.
I kind of feel like that addiction save is going to be really heinous. We found these experimental chems. Be careful not to get addicted to them because
Well,
you'll never find them again.
If you can roll an
Right.
addiction save like Cyna rolled her soldier check, then you'll probably be fine.
Yeah. Or better
Collie,
yet. Oh, go ahead.
Collie is another injectable. Gain a +4 bonus on all wisdom-based skill checks and a +2 bonus on saves versus mind affecting. Gain a -2 penalty on saves versus sleep, and add your operative level to all trick attack damage rolls.
Okay. You going a little fast.
Yeah.
Little fast.
Plus 4 wisdom
effect
checks,
one.
plus 2 mind
Skills.
affecting.
+4 wisdom-based skill checks,
Okay.
+2 versus mind affecting, -2 versus sleep. Add operative level to trick attack damage rolls. That is 10 minutes. So the next one you guys probably had is push.
Yeah.
Push. 5 minutes. Gain DR5 dash and +2 on saves versus poisons.
Could we consider these drugs poison?
Technically, yes.
Yes.
According to the rules.
The
You're
drugs
trading
are
a
the
+2
addiction.
for another save.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what you're doing.
The drug is a poison. The addiction is a disease.
Okay.
It gets real weird. Okay, the next one you have are the ingestibles.
Flex.
Flex. Okay, 5 minutes. +4 bonus on all strength-based checks.
You said +4?
Mm-hmm. +2 bonus to fort saves. And gain a number of temporary hit points equal to twice your level.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Right?
All right. I appreciate knowing what I'm going to have to be pumping out of your stomachs later.
Lily, 5 minutes, is a +4 bonus on all charisma-based checks. And once, while under the effects of Lily, you can reroll any check twice and take the highest of the 2 results.
That's a skill check.
Any check.
That's powerful.
What's next? Sage.
You should have called that drug Advantage.
How long did that last?
Flex lasts for 5 minutes. Sage. +4 morale bonus on all intelligence and wisdom based skill checks.
On int,
And wisdom.
wisdom skill checks.
How many minutes was this?
On which one, Sage?
Yeah.
5 minutes. All right. What's next? Cycle.
Yeah, this is
I couldn't find a good image of like an inhaler, so it's just like an aerosol can. So you can Fury Road it. I don't care.
So I want to know is why the sage is not an inhalable.
Because it's not that type of sage. Cycle removes addictions, but for every addiction it removes, the user is paralyzed for 1d4 hours.
Oh, someone's going to end up paralyzed for a day.
Hold on. So it removes. Does it remove one addiction or all addictions?
All. And for every one it removes, it paralyzes the person for 1d4 hours.
Well, we got one reset button then, guys.
I'm familiar with that one from Fallout. Very limitedly though, so.
So how long does an addiction
Do you have
last?
a stim habit in Fallout?
It takes several days before
so
you...
I found one of them in
can clean it out.
76, and then I never found another.
Okay. Next is FTL. Its duration is 1 minute. I'm just going to read this one real quick, and then you can take the note however you want to. Gain an additional standard action, move action, and reaction that can be used anytime while FTL is active. The additional standard and move actions may instead be combined to perform a single additional full round action.
The fuck?
So for 1 minute, anytime within that 1 minute period, you get a bonus like standard, move, and
So it's like,
reaction. You
okay.
can take whenever.
I'm going to take a move action now. Oh, I'm going to take a reaction now. Oh, I'm going to take
The full round action.
or I'm going to take a full round now.
Or I could just take 2 full rounds this turn.
Okay, so that is an important point of clarification here because per the rules, a full round action cannot be combined with any other action. I'm assuming this overrides
yes.
that rule.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the standard rules don't have addiction checks.
Yeah, that's the balance.
I'm just making sure.
That's the balance.
I'm going to say that's like what, a level 52 check there.
No, but this one is. All the others, Cyna, you've heard are kind of like low to middle grade.
Yeah.
This one right here, if you had actually been looking at it while drinking that, you would spit. Because Tidy, yeah, Tidy, duration 1 minute, reduce all penalties for taking multiple attacks, including with weapons with the automatic or blast property, to 0. Reduce all range increment penalties by 1.
Oh, shit.
And there was somebody back in our Special Forces squad that was issued some of this stuff. He swore that he could see gods and that they pointed his gun where it needed to go.
You know what happens when you take FTL and Tidy together
Your heart explodes.
and go Gunzerker in the same round?
Your friends clean your bits off of their armor.
How many attacks is that? At no penalty?
It's like 4.
How long does that one last?
A minute.
That's kind of one of those, well, if I can't survive, well, no
Neither
one
can you.
But Cyna knows
Command
that
only issued these for suicide missions.
But yeah, Cyna knows that Tidy out of all of those is probably the most addictive because that is a euphoric experience. Being able to go full auto and all 30 rounds hit the bullseye.
No, I think that was
heard
Red Eye from Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I heard that there was this one guy who literally fired so often, so hard that the recoil blew his shoulder out of socket, and he kept going.
That's a myth.
Dude, no, you do not get to look turned on and say it's a myth.
So I'm assuming I probably shouldn't give my share of these to Ion.
You shouldn't.
Definitely should give your share.
You shouldn't give them to people you hate.
So,
Wait, can we deprogram an addiction from Vesper? Can we just like delete
I'm not sure
that?
these work on Vesper. You're going to try, aren't you?
I don't know. I feel like it would be good information to have.
I mean, androids are probably biological enough that it would work on them, but he's an SRO, right?
Yeah, it's close to an SRO. So I don't know if he actually can ingest, inhale, or
I can look as soon as my mouse works.
Okay. So you all board the Maiden. You get a safe distance away from the station, and you drift. Title music for Dead Sons is provided by Overclocked Remix and created by CFX. Find more great game remixes at ocremix.com. Ambient music provided by Tabletop Audio. Original 10-minute ambiances and music for games and stories. Find out more at tabletopaudio.com.